Hey, what is up guys, it's Lobomon for Game, and we got a new matchup between Imperialdramon versus BlackWarGreymon. So of course I'm going to go ahead and be piloting the Imperialdramon, but what's crazy is that Joanne is meeting me for first place finals again, and she will be piloting the BlackWarGreymon, and it's pretty interesting because she just picked up the deck today, and she's already topping with it, so it's pretty insane. And so I ended my turn by playing the Davis, adding both the green and the blue Digimon, so I +1 off of him. And Joanne's gonna go ahead and Digivolve all the way up to the new Metal Greymon, which is pretty scary because she can go into BlackWarGreymon anytime. I'm gonna go ahead and Digivolve into my Lobomon in my raising, which is pretty unfortunate, but hey, it happens. Then I'm gonna go ahead and drop the new BT08 Vmon. She's gonna promote and Digivolve into the BlackWarGreymon. Gonna delete my Tamer. I'm at 2. I'm going to Digivolve my Vmon into the Stingmon. I'm not going to swing because it doesn't have jamming, or neither of them has jamming, so I don't want to be reckless. So I'm going to go for the Jogress, going to Digivolve into Dinobemon. Dinobemon's able to suspend the BlackWarGreymon, and it will not unsuspend until the end of her turn again. So I'm going to Digivolve all the way up into the Imperialdramon. I didn't want to swing again because I didn't want to risk my Dinobemon dying. I will play off the BT08 and the Stingmon on the board so I can start going wide. She's going to go ahead and hatch in her raising, and she's going to have to start from scratch again, but she will drop the Nokia first. Going to go ahead and drop any Agumon on the board. This is the BT5 Agumon, so it's going to go ahead and top 3 check, adding any Greymon, and she will go ahead and add the Metal Greymon from the EX Classic Collection. Bottom decking the other 2 cards. She's going to tap the Nokia to go ahead and Digivolve over the Agumon for 1 cost into the Geo Greymon, so she can start cycling. She drew into the promo Agumon, which she's going to put in her raising. Then we'll Digivolve over with the Metal Greymon. Gonna go ahead and Digivolve my Imperialdramon to Dinobemon and gonna kill off my BT08. Unfortunately, she forgot to use the effect of BlackWarGreymon to go ahead and restand because it's all turns once per turn. When a Digimon is deleted on my end, it gets to restand. I'm gonna go and swing with Dinobe and Stingmon, and I don't get punished. I do survive both checks. Then I'm gonna drop the starter deck Vmon to go ahead and top 3, add any free and trait, which is the Elytramon, and it hurts that I had to bottom deck the fighter mode, but I think I can get game within this turn. So she's going to promote, she's going to swing with the BlackWarGreymon to swing into my Dinobemon to control tempo. It's going to restand. Then Metal Greymon's going to swing into my Stingmon. Then her BlackWarGreymon swings into my security. Does hit into a Davis and Ken, so that's going to be a plus on my end. Then Agumon's going to crash into my security. Then she's going to pass her by playing the Marcus. Going to go ahead and put myself to 3. I'm going to go ahead and promote my XVmon and gain the additional memory. I'm going to go ahead and swing with it since I was jamming. Then Digivolve over the Vmon with the Elytramon. I did have the Stingmon, but I was going to go for the Elytramon play first because I can swing with it, and if it dies I can Armor Purge and go into Stingmon, but it does survive. Then I'm going to go ahead and Jogress into Imperialdramon and swing, restand, and swing for game, and that's pretty much game 1. And so with the whole point of the Imperial is to go aggro, survive with jamming, and then go wide at the end of your turn. So hopefully I can pull that off in game 2. So I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve in my raising all the way up to the Elytramon. That's all I had actually. Unfortunately I don't have the XVmon. Then Joanne's going to go ahead and drop the Nokia. Going to go ahead and play the Agumon, putting me at 1. And this is the BT5 Agumon that's able to add any Greymon in name or Omnimon. She will pick up the BT1 Greymon, which is pretty scary because that one's going to be able to have a security check +1 and it can't activate any options. So I'm going to swing with my Elytramon. I do survive. Then I'm going to play the Davis, top 3 check. I do hit the Dinobe and the Vmon, so I'm going to add both blue and green. Joanne drew for turn and she top decked the Agumon promo. She's going to put that in her raising. Then Digivolves over her Agumon on the board all the way up to the new Metal Greymon. Then I'm going to go ahead and reset to 3. She did kill off my Elytramon because she was able to Digivolve it and then kill off anything that was 3k or less. I will have to start from scratch again, so I'm going to try and hunt for my XVmon. I did play the blue memory boost and I didn't hit it, so I will add the Imperialdramon instead. Then I'm going to go ahead and play the starter deck Vmon again. I did hit off the XVmon and thankfully it's a free trait, so I'm able to add that to hand. So Joanne's going to Digivolve all the way up to the BlackWarGreymon. Going to go ahead and kill off my Tamer. Then with the Metal Greymon Inheritable, it's able to attack my unsuspended Digimon. It's going to restand and then going to go ahead and swing to security. It does survive. Then she's going to pass her by playing the Marcus on the board. I'm at 4 memory, so I can abuse this. I'm going to Digivolve my Vmon in my XVmon. Then I'm going to go ahead and swing, draw for jamming. I do hit into a Nokia, so she's going to be able to drop the new Black Agumon. Going to top 4 check and add any Metal Greymon, I'm sorry, not Metal Greymon, but any Greymon or Dragon Kitten in its traits. She's going to bottom deck the rest of the cards. I pop my boost, put myself to 4. Drop the Stingmon, put myself to 1. Go for the Jogress play into the Imperialdramon. I do have jamming. I can swing twice. I can draw twice. Actually draw 3 times if I'm successful. And then I'm going to swing, gain the memory. And I hit into an ulti flare. I totally forgot that Ulti Flare was a thing. So we're bringing back BT 5 days. So I lose all my Digimons because it does de-Digivolve all the way to level 3. Then to pass turn, I'm just going to have to play the Davis and start from scratch again. At least I won't be memory choked next turn. But it may not matter at this point because she's able to Digivolve all the way up into the BlackWarGreymon again. And this one is going to have piercing too, so that's pretty unfortunate if she's able to clear off my Digimons on the board. So she does swing with the BlackWarGreymon. She will survive because she has the additional 2k buff, I believe, due to the Inheritable. She's going to drop the BT5 Agumon and we'll add the Omnimon, so she has potential game next turn. I'm going to Digivolve in my Raising. And unfortunately, there's nothing much I can really do here. I don't have green, or well, at least not yet. I did play the Spark. Then I'm going to drop the Stigmon, putting myself to 0. Then to control Tempo, I'm going to go ahead and play the Mega Death. But it doesn't matter what I suspend because it's going to unsuspend during her unsuspend phase. But I'm going to go ahead and bounce the BlackWarGreymon back to her hand anyway. Now it's Joanne's turn. She's going to hatch in her Raising again. Then Digivolve over to start cycling again. And I totally forgot that she added the BT1 WarGreymon from earlier, so she's going to go ahead and Digivolve only for the cost 1. Then she's going to go ahead and swing for a triple check. Does clear off all 3 and swings with the little Agumon for game. So now we're going to go into game 3 and oh boy, this is deja vu all over again. So I decided for her to go first and she did hit the Agumon promo again, so that's going to be good for her tempo. Then Digivolves into the starter deck Greymon, which has security +1 for the Inheritable, putting me to 2. I do Digivolve in my Raising with the Hammerspark Vmon. Then I'm going to drop the starter deck Vmon again. I do hit the Stingmon, so I'm going to add that first so I can start having more tempo later in the game. She does drop the Nokia on the board. Playing the promo Agumon, going to go ahead and pop my Vmon, so I'm a little behind again. I need a hunt for my X Vmon, so I'm not going to promote my Vmon just yet. I do top 4 check with the blue memory boost. I do hit the Lydramon, so I'm going to add that. She's going to start with 1 again. She will promote her Greymon. Digivolve her Agumon into the new BlackGreymon by tapping the Nokia, still being her turn, then drops the new Agumon. Gonna top 4 check and add the BlackGreymon, and I believe that's all she's going to add. She won't be able to add anything else. Then I have 3 memory to work with. I can Digivolve into the Lydramon, putting myself to 1. I will suspend the starter deck Greymon. Gonna go ahead and swing over it since I'm 1k higher. And I believe during this turn I didn't have the Imperialdramon or the Dino Bee, so I'm just gonna pass her 2 by playing the Madoki Betamon. She's gonna hatch in her Raising. And it looks like she doesn't have a rookie yet, so she's going to tap Nokia, reducing the cost of the BlackGreymon Digivolution, putting herself to 0. Then she will swing into my Lydramon, and then she will use the when attacking effect to pop my Madoki. Then she's going to go into the BlackWarGreymon. BlackWarGreymon will pop my Vmon, and I'm going to start from scratch again. I'm going to go for the Yo4 starter deck Vmon in my Raising, then drop the Davis, putting myself to 0. I do hit both blue and green, so I will add the Lydramon and the Imperialdramon. Then from here, I'm going to go ahead and play a Spark, then Digivolve into my Lydramon in my Raising, because I don't have the X Vmon yet, and I think I just drew it off that Digivolve. So she's at 1, she's going to Digivolve her Black Agumon into the BlackGreymon, then we'll swing in my security with her BlackWarGreymon to go ahead and check for 1, does hit into a Hammerspark, so I'm going to go ahead and start with 3 again. It's going to be my turn. Promoting my Lydramon, I'm going to drop the Stingmon. I'm not willing to risk the Lydramon dying, so I'm going to go for the Imperialdramon. Imperialdramon's going to bottom deck the Greymon. I'm not too sure what happened here. She accidentally added the Greymon and bottom decked the Agumon instead, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, I don't think game state changed. And then I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve all the way to the Imperialdramon. Going to go wide, dropping the Lydramon and Stingmon on the board. She promotes her Agumon, taps the Nokia, goes into the BT5 Greymon. Then she's going to go ahead and swing into security because she doesn't have the Inheritable to swing to unsuspended. And it does survive. Then she Digivolves into the Metal Greymon, gonna de-Digivolve my Imperialdramon, but she's unable to delete anything because all of them are 4k and up. So it's gonna be my turn again. I hatch. I'm gonna go ahead and go for another Jogger's play. Gonna be able to go into the Dino Bee actually. And so I'm debating which one I want to go ahead and keep suspended, but I will go ahead and suspend her level 5. Gonna Spark up, then Digivolve over into an Imperialdramon again, putting myself to 0, going wide, and this time Dino Beamon's gonna give the Inheritable buff because it has both colors, so it's gonna be boosted by 2k extra. So my 14 just swings over just a tad bit over the BlackWarGreymon. Then I'm gonna go for the swing with the Imperialdramon. Then I'm gonna go ahead and restand, and I'm gonna play another Jogress because I'm not too sure what I was thinking, but I tried to play around Ulti Flare. And so Ulti Flare actually just came out from that new Imperialdramon, and she will de-Digivolve it all the way to a Stingmon. And although the Meta Greymon was going to be suspended for the whole turn, I did have to control tempo, so I traded off my Imperialdramon into it. Then I'm going to go ahead and play the Davis. Top 3 check, I do add the rookie because that's what I'm actually going to need next turn. She's going to have to start from scratch with 3 security left to my 3 security. So she's going to Digivolve all the way up to a Greymon from the starter deck. Then hard drops the Virus Greymon, putting me to 3 again. I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve in my Raising to start cycling. I did get into the XVmon, so I'm going to put that in my Raising as well, putting myself to 1. I'm going to Spark up, and then I'm going to be able to Digivolve into the Fighter mode. Going to bounce the Greymon back to her hand, and still being my turn. I'm able to swing twice, so I'm going to swing, restand, swing once more. Then I'm going to go ahead and try and clear off the last security with the Stigmon. And of course, it does swing into a big beater. So I'm just going to drop the top 4 check Vmon to add a dual color, and I do whiff. But this is actually going to be okay because she needs to have 4 attacks. She's able to Digivolve into the Metal Greymon for 2 cost only because she's able to tap both Nikias, so she puts herself to 1. I believe she's able to de-Digivolve. Yep, she's able to de-Digivolve my Fighter mode and pop the Vmon on the board. Then kills off one of my Tamers with the BlackWarGreymon. But she doesn't have any blockers, so that's going to be GG. Good games, Joanne. That was a really tough match. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Here's a quick deck profile for my Imperialdramon list. This is the new updated one. And on the next slide will be the BlackWarGreymon list, so you guys check it out. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Lobomon for Game signing out.